What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Monday, July 6th, 10:15 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. We're going to recap the events that went down last night in Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to go over the weekend that was in boxing. We're going to talk about how you guys did, how we did as a team. The top rank card was exactly what we expected. Hopefully, you listened. And it's one of those, a couple times a year, the boxing gods presents us with some money on the table, and you got to take advantage. So hopefully everyone had a good time watching those fights. We'll get into it and we'll go over this together. As you're tapping in, like the video, let me know how you're doing. If you haven't subscribed, do it already. Our Discord is growing. We're approaching 550. We're approaching two milestones: 550 JSB insiders and our year anniversary. We started at August 1st last year. It's it's our best kept secret. 100%. It's not only a tool that has helped grow the community, but it goes way past that. In terms of learning about the sport, researching the sport, breaking news, inside information. It's you really won't understand it until you get in there. And it's not just boxing. Boxing is our wheelhouse, but it has many legs to it. American football season's coming up. That's one of my bread and butters. College football is coming up. We have a college football channel. I'll be giving you my picks like last year. And the World Cup's going on. So we got a game. We got Mexico playing in about, the game has been delayed. So that's a game that, everybody in my ethos has been looking forward to. Mexico versus England starts in 42 minutes. So keep an eye on that. I'm taking Mexico on the money line. Sorry. I'm going Mexico. I think they've lost two times in 54 international games at their stadium. So you mix that with elevation, with England not really having a historically good record on stepping up in terms of big games. Mexico is the dog. I'm sprinkling on the dog. Anyway, let's get to boxing. Join our Discord. It's a couple bucks a month, either here on YouTube or Patreon. Click that link. It's a couple bucks a month. The boys are tapping in. Brendan, what's up? I'm gonna just go through the boys first, and then we'll get into the tickets. Appreciate you. We up. Yep. What are they gonna say now? I mean, that dude. Look at last week too. We 3 weeks ago was rough. We put two weeks back to back of what our wins usually look like. So, I'm feeling good. We should all be feeling good. All the boys should be feeling good. Big Shadow in the house. Yeah. Shout out to Julius if you guys tapped in. Also, I want to let everybody know, man. Expect live streams during the fights like we did yesterday. Julius hopped on the live stream. We did the whole top rank card. We were on for about 4 hours. I was doing play by play. I was doing sort of color, and he was, my side by side with what he's seeing. And we hit the card. We know we had Abdullah Mason. That was the fight I gave you guys during fight week by knockout. But the money lines all hit, but a lot of us were up because the way those fights were trending, both Shushu and Tiger on points. A lot of boys, I got a lot of messages saying, hey guys, thanks for doing that live stream. I went heavy on the live betting on points. Thank you. So we're going to be doing that more and more. It's something I've always liked doing. I like breaking fights down. I didn't know if there was a market for it. So, with our edited Stats Don't Lie videos, with our shorts, the YouTube shorts, the explained videos, with these daily live streams, I'm going to add a fourth content to our channel, and that's going to be during the fights now. Expect and what it is I'm watching the fights, and I have our Discord live chat. If you were just check it out if you didn't see it. I had a good time doing it. We got fights this Friday in Australia. I'm going to do it for the Australian fights. And so just stay tuned for more of that. And everybody who tapped in, supported, commented, I say thank you. This is my guy right here, Barium Boxing. Great weekend. If you guys aren't following Barium Boxing on Twitter, do it right now. We have a handful of really intelligent, so many. He's just one of them that I've been trying to talk to into starting a YouTube channel. But he's doing his thing on Twitter, and he's also doing his thing in our Discord. And this is another element. If you guys want to share your knowledge, share your expertise, grow your own individual communities, I'll help, come into our Discord. This is what's happening. And yeah, the French card. So I saw you hit on everything as well. I had one play. I had Saggio money line because I wasn't getting props. I know he won UD. I saw you called Saggio decision, I think, which was great. And then the A side, I ended up avoiding. I avoided the Carvajal fight because I didn't have time to tape it, and it was a good thing because, like you said, I think the A side girl won. But yeah, I hit on the French fights, I hit on the Italian fights, everything. So it's good. It was a great weekend all around, and you don't have to get fancy. You know what I'm saying? Some people, and you don't need a lot. We don't need 7 fight cards a weekend to make money, guys. So look historically. I think in terms of how I match room, we got top rank, we got that. It could be a little overwhelming from my perspective. And advice I always give to the boys is you don't have to bet on every fight. It's not like you see all these fights, all these options. You don't have to take action on it. You know what I mean? Like I gave 4, the tickets I gave, it was 1 card. And I avoided fights. It's okay to avoid fights. You don't have to bet every fight. And sometimes we make the most money when you have those boundaries and you pick 4 or 5, maybe 3 to 4 fights, sometimes 2 fights, and you focus on those. And that was one of these weekends. We didn't have a lot, but we made a lot. That's kind of the mindset of our group. We're very optimistic in the JSB Discord. We're not pessimists. We keep the energy high. We put the work in. We put the effort in. We share our knowledge. We share our tips, and we win. So you don't need a lot to make a lot. And also, don't live under this impression for you boxing fans. Boxing is in a great spot. I was saying this on the live stream yesterday with Julius. Just like Barry Unboxing, Julius is another one of our sharps in the group. He was on my live stream yesterday. From an international perspective, from a men's perspective, female perspective, from a streaming perspective, promotional perspective, boxing's never been in a better place. And then who gets to grow from that? Us. We get to take advantage of it. I don't like saying take advantage because it's like we're using our sport, but we're actually using our knowledge to gain from our sport to make money, and that's what we're doing. Dude, this guy right here, Barry Unboxing, go to his Twitter, see how often he wins on women's boxing. It's not like we have to be talent scouts. This isn't this isn't us traveling the world looking for the best fighters. No, this is us being researchers, archaeologists, seeking out the best odds to make the most money. That's it. It's not our job to do matchmaking. It's not our job to critique how good a fight is going to be. Our job is to have an eagle eye, assassin-like approach to the matchups, identify where we can make the most money, research that, execute that game plan, and then wait and watch. And this is what we do. So it's exciting. Everything went exactly as planned. Brandon, yes, it did. This is my Julius, man. Read all the comments from the live, man. That was fun. We're gonna do it more often. I plan on doing a live stream every fight opportunity we get. And Julius is another one of our sharps that, just like Barry Unboxing, that I'm trying to talk into starting their own YouTube channel, because the more guys that we have with our same mindset, our same approach, right? It's about the approach, not about agreeing. Barry and I disagree. Julius and I disagree. It's healthy to disagree. But I'm talking about our approach in terms of how we operate. Identifying the matchups, doing your research, figuring out a game plan, and then betting on that. I think that's our unique brand, and doing it in a very optimistic way. Money Meech, we up. Mexico will complete a full. Let's go. Yeah, I got Mexico by themselves at plus 220. You and Julius live fight chat. Appreciate it. Jake Bellinger. Yeah, Jake was like, I'm glad you finally did the live stream during a fight. And I said that sometimes I need a bit of a nudge. So if you guys remember, it was last May, 15 months ago. Shout out to Muscles. Muscles asked me 15 months ago to start giving my predictions and to start a Discord. It took me from when he was asking me from May and to do live streams. It took me June, July. It took me 3 months to even do that. So you guys have been asking me for a few months to do the live streams. I like it. I really enjoy doing it. I used to do it with no audience. I used to break down fights on YouTube when I had like 200 people, just 200 followers. Now we're approaching 30,000, and it's good to revisit that side of the game. I have a lot of fun doing it. Both teams to score. Sam Noakes plus money. Sammy Boy's fighting in 2 weeks, right? Facts, live streaming during the fight's been long overdue. We up now. If I wasn't working during the live stream, I would have been there the whole time with you guys. Hopefully my schedule will change soon, but for now, I'm mostly working on cards. Get in when you get fit in, man. We appreciate you when you pop in, Brandon. I'm going to catch up. Doubting the top rank A-side bias is just amateur hour. I told you. Adu. Look, man. Our Discord from Monday through Friday is the place to be. From a boxing analyst, a boxing betting perspective. Let's just say the fights start Saturday. From Monday to Friday, from a research side, analyst side, conversation side, community side, betting side is the place to be. And this is what I tell you that I do. Come Saturday, like come fight day, I'm out, because that's when the guys who don't research. So what Adu's talking about is our group is growing exponentially. So not everybody, if everybody in our group were in this live stream, we'd have over 500 people here, but we don't. And I don't expect that, right? The ones who watch these daily live streams, the diehards, are the ones who are winning money consistently on betting, are the ones who would have known about what Adu's talking about, top rank A-side bias. But the ones who don't tune in, like when in the Discord, are the ones looking, chasing. They're not putting in the work. They're casual about it. They're trying to get a cheap dollar. They're trying to get a cheap win, but they haven't done the work. So they think that the narrative about top rank A side is a fallacy until it's not. And we, as the ones who, Adu, Julius, Barium, who we've spoken about, Brendan, Jake, who hit, we're kind of left perturbed a bit in the Discord, thinking like, what are you guys doing? Like in sometime in early days, it was almost like, are these guys in the Discord on purpose to create drama? And that's what I used to think, but it's not that. We can't spoon feed everybody. Like reading I'm not going to put anyone on blast. Some of the boys were like, I lost X amount of money. I'm down. I was like, how? What are you talking about? You're down. Including last week, 7 out of 8 tickets, just boxing over the last 2 weeks, all hit. How are you down? Oh, you're down because you're making your own decisions, and I want you to make your own decisions, but you're being conspiratorial about it. Everybody in our community should have done the 4-leg, and they're all. Let's look, guys. These were all plus money. These are all. So all these tickets at least doubled your money. What else? I mean, what else can I do? And then the last thing I ever wanted to do, and guys, full transparency, I take a lot of heat online because how cheap it is to join the Discord. Did you know that? I don't talk about it a lot, but there's guys on Twitter who are like, it's $6 to $7. I think it might be $7. It's $6 or $7 a month to join our Discord, right? I didn't know that some guys charge 50, 60, 70. That was never my goal. So I'm getting shit talked about me because it's so cheap to join the Discord from the outsiders. And then people who are in the Discord who maybe are making their own decisions are complaining. So you have to understand my perspective. Every ticket we give you publicly is at least doubling your money. I have never won. That matters because it's not like we're just picking Tiger Johnson on the money line and you're getting $22 off of 100. We have to take risks. And this is what makes us good. Okay, this was my setup yesterday. I'm sure this is common with our group. A lot of you boys are like me, four devices going. We got the laptop, the tablet, we got the big screen, you got this is what it is. This is fight weekend, baby. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into my thoughts on how that ended too. Okay. So I don't usually like going, and because we didn't have a lot of options this weekend, we had to take what we had, right? So I'm not going to force the issue. Somebody in our YouTube comments were clowning, oh, it was way too risky for plus 142. I'm like, bro, these are the fights that they played for us. Is it risky when you, I don't want to say they're a lock, because that's not rhetoric I use. But, like Barium said, the French card, the Italian card, top rank A sides, are those, it's all we had. You pair all those together. I gave you guys this this is for all the people who aren't in our group. What I do is I give you my bets before fight weekend. So look, I placed this Wednesday, July 1st. I gave this to the team, which would have been your Tuesday in America. So your Tuesday, last Tuesday, you got this ticket. $100 would have got you your money back plus 142. You are doubling your money exponentially. 1,000 would have got you your 1,000 back plus another $1,400. That's on one ticket, right? This is why I don't understand people. This was our prop of the week. Look when we put this one in. Wednesday in Australia, Tuesday in America. We got Abdullah Mason at plus money, plus 105 to win by knockout. It went exactly how we thought it was going to go. And we'll get into that in a second. Meaning 1,000 on this pick would have got you your money back plus 1,000 plus. So you would have doubled your money. This is the one that, when we posted, when I saw this last Monday, I posted it, I created it because I knew I was like, plus money wasn't going to stay. And part of what I do, I have to be early about it because we have a community, right? It's all about timing before odds crash. So we did this. I did this last Sunday. This is how confident I was. I gave you guys this ticket, the JSB Insiders, last Sunday in Australia while fights were still going on, Monday in Sydney. And at the time, you would have been able to take Scooter, Tiger, Bruce, and Della on the money line, and it would have doubled your money. So, it's another thing. If you guys are insiders, pay attention to how quick I pulled the trigger, because you guys can look at the statistics. When I'm placing bets that early, those are the ones I'm really confident in. And so that was our work. Yeah, but that's. And of course, in the YouTube comments, say, "Oh, anybody could have saw that comment." When we win, you guys say that. So whenever we win, the haters will say, "Those were easy. That was easy money. Those were locks." And then when we lose, they're waiting. When we lose, they say, "You don't know shit about boxing." So I get all that. The ones who are in our group, though, moving forward, you should know by now top rank A sides. This isn't anything that we discovered last week. These are things that we teach throughout the year. Top rank A sides. I have the Tiger cards. You know about that. Gabby Fundora by knockout. You know about that. There's patterns. There's patterns to pick up on moving forward that you should already know. Top rank A side is like, I should make a t-shirt. If I went to a boxing event, I guarantee if I made a t-shirt that said top rank A side, people would know what it was. The bettors would know what it was. I wish it would have. Yeah, that man would have died, man. Albert Bell did not want to be there anymore, though. You like commentary was fire. Keep doing it, my guy. Thanks, man. I appreciate you tuning in. It's going to be commonplace now, just like these daily live streams. What actual fights are there this week? I'll get into it. We have fights in Australia. We got Max McIntyre fighting this week, Friday night. So there's fights Friday night in Australia, and then which will be Friday morning. And then we have fights Monday in Australia, Sunday in America. Conor McGregor, UFC. I'm going to be doing a UFC live stream. A lot of UFC fights to talk about. So any JSB insiders who want to, on the MMA channel, who want to come on later in the week to talk about the UFC, let me know. What's up, Johnny Sleep? Great weekend of boxing. Hoping for the ultimate Rocky win tonight. Mexico. I'm going for him too, man. That's where my money's at. Michaela Myers, great value. I'm loading up on her. We're going to pull the odds up. I'm going to give it another few minutes or so to get everything, to kind of talk about everything that happened this weekend. Ask any questions that you have, your thoughts on the fights. I know Carrington, a lot of people picked Carrington by knockout, didn't go. Tiger by knockout, didn't go. They both won on points. Tiger handled his work a little bit more professional. Carrington, he got the job done, but he had to answer some questions. I still think he came in with an injury. He didn't say it. He got hurt to the body a few times. Guys, both guys fought undefeated Mexicans. Palacios undefeated, and I'm slipping my mind, but that's always going to be the risk when you're looking at uh, matchups. You know what I mean? When you're looking at Guerrero and Palacios were both Mexican fighters undefeated, young. It's not like they were so that's another when you're thinking about your bet. Your main objective on betting should always be to get the dub, which sounds rudimentary. Sometimes I think we could get caught up as bettors with the infatuation of odds. Now, I do it to an extent, meaning that I have to have a little bit more of a keen eye when I'm publicly posting my bets because I make sure that they're all my one rule is they're all plus money. But like when you guys are, Tiger, I can see the knockout, dude. These odds are crazy. But the Tiger knockout was only paying, or the Bruce knockout was either Tiger or Bruce. It was paying like $1.60. So Tiger was paying 230 by knockout. Carrington was paying $1.60. So the move was Carrington on points regardless. And our live commentary smashed it. We got Carrington on points. Some of the boys got it at plus 350. Mid-fight. And Julie, we were telling you, if you guys didn't tune in, we had the odds up. We were tracking everything. All right, I'm smashing it. And then when it hit, it hit. So yeah, it's hindsight's always 2020 though. I guess moving forward, the biggest take-home point will be disregard the method of outcomes. That's going to be dicey either way. Whatever way you dice it, you could say that you saw the knockout coming. You could say that the points were an easy call. You could say that choosing a method of victory will always be dicey. 90% of the time. You have your exceptions with heavyweight fights and with girl fights, meaning going the distance or knocking people out. The take-home point should be the top-rank A-side ones. Anybody who was picking against Tiger, Shushu, or Mason, that's on you. We told you. The only way Mason's losing that fight is if he gets knocked out. The only way Tiger and Shushu are losing that fight if they get knocked out. That's it. Not going to happen. I'm getting great value on Lesser, Najee, McKenna, Josh, Albert. When you combine them, no need to get extra sexy MOVs. My line. Yeah. And Barium, I think, I don't know if you were here last August when we started this journey, but that's how I started, and that's kind of my bread and butter too. Finding like 4 to 5 legs, give me plus money, go heavy, that sort of thing. That's how I started building the group. Chop. I like all of them. So I started doing the quarterly parlays last April, May, June, which hit. And then I did another one June, July, August. And on that June, July, August one, which 5 out of 9 have hit, it pays plus 540. I think I have all these fighters. I'm not getting the Najee fight yet, but I have McKenna, I have Josh, I have Chop. It's a good read. Adatuama, Pacheco, there's so much. Yeah, bro, this is why we get along. Dude, the law of abundance. So the law of abundance or the law of scarcity, it's actually the same law. It's actually the same environment. So when they met, the way you philosophize the law of abundance or the law of scarcity is you keep the environment stable. What I mean by this, and I'll use a personal experience to explain this. And this is connected to Barium's perspective on this, how he says there's so much food coming our way. How I say that rather than saying boxing's in a terrible spot is that I used to work at a health club in Sydney, and on an average day, we would have 3,000 members. This is an elite health club. Sauna, spa, chiropractor, swimming pool, everything. And these are like corporate CEOs. These are like young financiers, stock market, in like the wealthiest part of Sydney, which is one of the wealthiest cities in the world per capita. And so you have 3,000 to 4,000 of these people who are coming through your facility. It's like 4-level fitness club sort of thing. Within that fitness club, you have 30 fitness coaches, strength and conditioning coaches, personal trainers who specialize in their own individual specialties, paying $30,000 to be there. Okay, so this is where I came from. I did this for about 7 years. So this is a business model in Sydney. Not all fitness gyms are like this. Half the fitness gyms are like, I'll work at your gym and then you pay me an hourly wage. And then I found this one, it's like, no, if you work here, you have to pay to be here. And I'm like, huh. So from an entrepreneurial perspective, I always said, this is going to work. I'm not going to be a fitness coach unless I run my own gym or I work in this business model. And so while doing that for years, I learned really quickly that, remember the law of scarcity, law of abundance. Like 90%, maybe 90% of the coaches I worked with looked at that space through the law of scarcity. They're like, dude, they're hiring another personal trainer. What the hell, man? How am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay rent? Rather than saying, like, there's so much competition here. They hired another boxing coach. What the hell? I'm the boxing coach. Rather than saying what I would say, I'm like, dude, there's only 30 personal trainers here. There's 3,000 freaking members. This is going to be chaos. And so this has always been my perspective. Same environment, two different perspectives. One, you look at it with abundance. One, you look at it with a scarcity. Looking at the world like the world is against you is always going to be a negative thing. You're never going to be able to grow. You're never going to be able to level up. And more importantly, you're always going to be around people who have that same negative mindset. Law of abundance is like, I have everything that I need. It's already in front of me. It's up to me to decide to do what with it. And long story short, that's where we are. Pacheco decision about to feed families. Yeah, he ain't knocking anyone out. You like Liam Wilson? I don't know yet. I can make it. I don't know. Like how stoked is Fulton to be there, because we know Liam Wilson is a guy, for all of his shortcomings physically, he does have a couple X factors in the ring. He could crack. He has power. He's going to want to be there. He's going to be in your face the entire time. Stephen Fulton at his best should make Liam Wilson look easy. But is Stephen Fulton at his best? Give me till fight week. Listen to him. Youngin. What's up, homie? Moonshot in the house. JSB, we up. Moonshot. That's all we're here, because it's not about the money, but the knowledge. Thank you. Knowledge you've given me over the last year. Price, homie. Don't let me tell. Appreciate you, man. Musk versus Zuck. Who do you think takes it? That was like 2 years ago. We were talking about that 2 years ago. Remember they almost fought? Probably Zuck, man. He was training with a legit BJJ black belt. He did some BJJ tournaments. Elon Musk is a little bit longer in the tooth. He looks, a little bit soggy with his physique. I don't know if Zuckerberg still trains, but, politics aside, Zuckerberg, brought in a legit jiu-jitsu black belt, learned it from the ground up. This is coming from a computer kid. And then, he got good enough to enter tournaments. That says something about the guy. It's no wonder he's successful. Johnny, great UFC card. Connor. Hold on. I didn't post that I'm with Connor yet. I talked about Connor. We were talking about maybe Connor. I'll pull the odds up in a second. I have Pierce O'Leary winning to end a 5-leg parlay. I think I like, dude, Pierce O'Leary should beat Mark Chamberlain. No, Pierce O'Leary. A lot of people in the UK channels, like I watch ES, Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat, Joe Stunner. They think that this is going to be easy money. They think that Pierce O'Leary should be fighting somebody a little bit more challenging. I'm going to pull up the odds now. I would like to know what, like, if somebody wanted to come on, because I'm seeing a lot of slander about Abdullah's performance. And I wanted to be honest with you guys. If you rewatch the live, I liked Abdullah's performance. I liked it a lot, man. It's exactly what we thought was going to happen. He's not a finished product yet. This is a 22-year-old kid who is growing before our eyes. He's learning on the job against a 33-year-old real pro. It didn't take you long to realize that Albert Bell definitely should be there. He's definitely world class. The beautiful part about that is that it's boxing. Styles make fights, and will this 22-year-old kid be composed enough, not get frustrated, believe in the game plan, and have the skills to figure Albert Bell out? And it took him a while, but he eventually did. And I thought that was a beautiful performance. I think that is a sort of performance that you could hang your hat on as a 22-year-old kid. Come on, man. What were you doing at 22? And seeing boxing, Instagram boxing, YouTube boxing, doing videos about the ref horrible stoppage. Are you guys not watching the same fight Julius and I were commentating on? Did you guys not see from the 7th round onwards, Albert didn't want to be there. His body language changed dramatically, and it wasn't like they were these 50-50 exchanges like Sam Noakes with Abdullah Mason late, even though Abdullah started pulling away late as well. And I think that's going to be a narrative of Abdullah throughout his career, is that he's going to be one of those fighters who will figure out a way to win. Obviously, he's willing to go to the dark place as a 22-year-old, and he wants to bring you with him. It's where he's most comfortable at. It's super admirable to watch. When you're watching Albert Bell systematically get broken down from the 7th round onwards, and you see his nose get a little bit displaced. He talked about it after. I called it out during the live stream. I said, his nose is fucked. You could see it. Bloody mouth, bloody eye, bloody lip. And then by the 11th, his body language in the corner, he didn't want to be there. And the 12th, he gets dropped again. The ref was just saving him. I didn't want to see Albert Bell unconscious. I don't want to see that guy who put his whole life to this game, who, has to go up against a younger dude who, pretty much, looked up to him at one time and have the veteran get knocked out. I don't want to see that. That stoppage was perfect. Even if I had points, I wouldn't have been pissed. But I don't think I've seen way worse stoppages than that. Sometimes in boxing, you have to take into consideration the intuitiveness of the stoppage. Like, where is this fight trending? How much time there was enough time in that round. We saw where that fight was trending and where it trended to, right? Is this fighter still in this fight? I told you even on the scorecards he was down. I couldn't give Albert Bell a round from the 6th round onwards. Even if you give him 5-0, he's not winning that fight. And him being the B side of Top Rank, he's not winning that fight regardless. And we knew that. He was going to have to knock Mason out. And that wasn't happening. And I don't think Mason was down on the cards. I had him up. And so, especially with the knockdowns, I thought the stoppage was great. I'm glad the ref did that. And it has nothing to do with betting. It has everything to do with that 33-year-old in the ring. So that's my take. I know people do videos to get clicks, and I'm seeing a bunch of Instagram stories where guys, they scream at the thing, and they try to get clicks. Oh, you guys fucking, oh, God. Yuck. O'Leary's probably going to stop more. People have to smack. Listen to this guy. Listen to, and Brandon, you're getting the pass from Barium. You're getting the pass from me. Smash it. Mason's only 22 people. Yeah. 22. See, that's exciting. 22 years old, it's exciting to me. Like, we get to see, like, he's one of these guys now. Like, I remember when Floyd, after the 96 Atlanta Olympics, I remember watching Floyd on ESPN, and he would have been probably 20. I was 14 or 15. So I was younger. So, but like, I use that as an example. Like, and then I remember Andre Ward coming out of the Olympics, watching his whole career, coming up with Pavlik when I was at Kelly's pro debut in Youngstown. So like, watching Mason, we're getting to watch this young kid who's already a champion on the world level still figure things out. He's not a finished product. Some guys, when they get to the pros, their style is exactly what it's going to be. We know the heartbeat of Abdullah's style, but what he's still getting better at is timing. What he's still getting better at is cutting the ring off. What he's still getting better at is the decision making, punch placement, that sort of. There were a couple times where I felt Mason could have gone. I wanted Mason to double up on his hook. You didn't see it a lot. He'd come in, marauding. He has a little bit of. There's a few things to his game that sometimes, not a lot, sometimes reminds me of a young Errol Spence. Sometimes, just with like the energy of what he wants to do, like him telling, we all know that marauding southpaw on the front foot, that sort of thing. Wants to. There's things in the clinch that he needs to work on. There's defense that he needs to work on, but he's doing it while winning world titles, which at 22 years old. But one thing I would love to see him add to his punch arsenal is doubling up on the lead side hook. He'd come in, he'd throw that hook lead side, and then he would either, clinch or he'd throw the other hand. He would switch hands with it. I want to see boom, body, same side, up top, and get under. It's one of those, and that's just same thing with Tiger. I was saying that with the Tiger Johnson. Dude, when Tiger cooks, get out of here. Tiger Johnson's a joy to watch. From the outside, from the inside, how mean he is. Because the other, Abdullah is a little bit more calmer in his temperament. He's aggressive inside the ring. And Tiger's always been kind of calmer until recently. And to see him grab the mic, you guys think I'm crazy. I think he gives Devin Haney a hell of a fight. I'd love to see that fight. I think you guys are smoking if you think Haney's just going to walk Tiger Johnson. You think he's just going to walk him down. Tiger's good, man. And I think Tiger's going to be one of these guys, as he levels up, the higher competition will make him even better. So I'm a big fan. He's one of my favorite fighters at 47. BZ checking in. What's up, player? They showed the scorecards on IG. Mason was way up. Yeah, people were just, and I told you guys also this, and I hate saying I told you. That's not what I mean. Reiterating the point of not listening to Sergio Mora and not listening to the neck dude, who's this guy. And no offense to people with, that dude bothers me, Chris Mannix. It's his score. Whenever you're that awful at scoring, it's one thing. But whenever you're that awful at scoring and you gaslight the audience, that's another thing. Now, the way my mind works is if you're awful at scoring and you're gaslighting our boxing audience and you have that neck, that's something that's going to concern me. That's something that's always concerned me was Chris Mannix's neck and chin and the gaslight. Don't listen to these guys, man. These guys are paid to sway the live boxing odds. They're going to make you think a guy's winning when they're not winning. They're going to make you think that your guy's losing when he's not losing. They're going to cause you stress and anxiety. Sergio Mora should be ashamed of himself with some of his takes. Chris Mannix, he's a journalist. He's not a boxer. You can tell he has no idea what levels of what boxing is, strategies of boxing, what's actually going on operationally, what game plans are. Even the questions he asks to fighters are super, like that's fine. He's a journalist. I get it. But, if you're watching those fights, and this is why I think we had a lot of fun doing the commentary, is because a lot of the boys were listening to us, Julius and I. And I never listen to Mannix when those fights are on. So he's awful. Not saying he's a bad journalist, you know what I'm saying? But I think that we could do better as a sport. The guys for Eye of the Tiger are really good. Sometimes they're a bit corny and cringe, but the guy who looks like a beaver, at least he knows boxing. He's a historian about it. I respect that. He knows strategy. He sometimes can be a bit cringe and corny, which is fine. It's entertainment. And then the Australian guys are great. I love listening to some of the old Aussies do it. And it's just the DAZN, dude. Sergio and Mannix are probably, in my opinion, the worst. Because from a betting perspective, these guys are they're just stressing people out. They're stressing the bettors out, lying to people. Mason's corner was on point. Yeah, Mason's dad, because Mason's pops knew. Well, we've never seen his dad I've never seen him that animated, have we? I think he knew he wanted his son to give more. Okay, I'm gonna put it on. So, guys, like the video. 40 minutes in. There's about 45 of you in here, which is great. I'm gonna put the World Cup on. The crowd there is gonna be insane. I lived in Southern California for 7 years, and I would go to Mexico quite often, the Baja California Peninsula. So Rosarito Beach. I'd go to Cabo San Lucas. That's probably where I'd go more often. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I love Mexico. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the food. Uh, the Western media, especially I think in America, they kind of like. Of course, there's bad parts. There's bad parts everywhere in the world, but if you just listen to the news, you would think that you know everywhere in Mexico is just filled with people who are trying to hurt you. It's not. I love Mexico. Mexico City's freaking. If you like ancient history and anthropology and civilizations stuff, Mexico City, man, all of Mexico. Like, look at this crowd. This is got to say this is definitely an unfair advantage. Not only because the altitude, but also the vibe they got going down there. What is that? Stadium Azteca? Bring on Cordina for Mason. He took on a tough last minute replacement. He deserved. I was gonna say, man, that's a good point. Right, man? People in the Discord are like, give him Shakur. I'm like, yo, come on, dude. Relax a bit. Give him Shakur. You guys need to chill out. Gil said Mannix's scorecard was on point last night and called me biased for having Mason up 6-4 going to the championship. What was Mannix? Gil maybe was playing points. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I could comment because I'm not quite sure. So was Mannix favoring Bell going to the championship rounds? I mean, because like, let's say you go after 6, 5. I didn't have it 5-1 after 6 though. I'm trying to be nice to Bell. Let's say it was 4-2 Bell. 7, 8, 9, 10. I had it 6-4 Mason going into the 11th. That's what I was seeing. I had it 6-4 Mason going into the 11th, and it was trending. It was like getting, and it was already getting ugly. All right, the boys are out on the field. I'm going to pull up some of the odds real quick. Johnny, have you ever heard of the Assyrian Empire? Yeah, I have clients who are Assyrian. Assyrians were, now, my knowledge of the Assyrian Empire is limited, but two of my, they're a beautiful married couple. They've been together forever. John is from Argentina, and Vivian is from Iran, but she was a Christian Iranian, so Assyrian. And then her family had to flee Iran in the nights during the regime change to Russia. So these are very successful people. She teaches me all the time about how the Assyrian people are, they don't have a land, they don't have a home. And she was actually raised in near Moscow. Speaks like 5 languages, super brilliant. Yeah, so I know a little bit about the Assyrian Empire. We ride in the land hammer on tire because yes. You know I have double cards. Dude, I think that there's a mean what I think with Tiger that only his handlers know because they've been around him. And I like the matchup with just because he was with Bo Mack, that was his chief. You know, you have your chief head, you have your head coach. He's still with his OG team. He's changed his chief head twice in the last 3 camps, but he kept the core of his family, his core of his people. I think only the people around him truly understand how mean he can be in there. And we're starting to see it. We're starting like that. I think that's what I mean by like, he's had 4 fights at 47, won all 4, 2 of them won by knockout. That backhand is looking better and better. The jab is you got Richardson Hitchens' jab, which is one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of Tiger Johnson's jab. What a great jab he has. His use of distance and ring management. What he needs, what he'll get better on is the timing of when to throw his backhand. He was getting, you saw kind of like I don't want to call it, he was a bit too eager to let that backhand go because he knows the damage it could do to people, and he was really wanting to hurt his opponent. I think as he gets more experienced in high-level fights, he'll know when to call on that punch because it's a great punch. Optically, you could tell how he sits on it now and throws it. That punch, if you watch Tiger's entire career, you're watching it elevate. You're watching it evolve. That one tool, his backhand, I'm talking off of the jab. It's a beautiful backhand. It's sharp. It's just that he was off a little bit with his timing and his accuracy yesterday. And I feel that a lot of that was he was a bit emotional. So, if I'm Tiger's camp, I'm talking to him a little bit about like, staying composed, staying calm. Don't force the backhand. Let it come to you. And then that's where you'll start getting the stoppages. It's like a home run hitter. He's in a baseball analogy. You're in a slump as a hitter, and you're trying to hit everything over the fence, and you're grounding out, you're popping up, you're striking out, and then the one pitch that as a former baseball player, it's always the ones that when you hit a home run. If you guys have never hit a home run before, this is what it feels like, and if you've hit a home run, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like you hit a pillow. Or same with knocking somebody out. I remember I was in a street fight once when I was a kid. This big bully was trying to beat me up, and I hit him with one punch, and I thought he was faking. And it's like, you know, you're not like nothing. You think they're faking. Same thing with the home run, and same thing with Tiger Johnson's backhand. Tell him not to force it. Just let it come naturally. But optically, it looked great. Yeah, that's in guys. This is in 2 weeks though, right? I'm gonna do the Eubank Papo. No land, no home, we're around the world. Yeah. So I know about these Syrian people. It's a beautiful, rich history, rich culture, proud, intelligent. No wonder we get along, Moonshot. I'd like to see Tiger face Brian. It's a good fight. Brian Norman Jr. Let me see if we're getting a. That's a great fight, Brandon. Now that you mention it, I could sit with that fight. Yeah, you're Brian Norman Jr. You're gonna want to make Tiger uncomfortable. You're gonna. I think where we see Tiger could be uncomfortable is fighting off the back foot. But what's crazy though is that he was drawing in his opponent like he's comfortable, or at least that like he doesn't feel uncomfortable. I think personally off the back foot. I think when we watched him last night, he got caught with that big straight that kind of snapped his head back once. He got caught and they got caught with a hook exiting. So he feels comfortable, but optically it seems where sometimes he looks like he might be uncomfortable would be on the back foot. Devin Haney, I don't know if Devin Haney would bring that out of him. I think Tiger would fight Devin Haney off of his front foot, and Devin would have to use the jab. I'd love to see the jab. I'd love to see Haney's jab versus Tiger's jab and the speed of it, and how that would play out. And then Norman's aggression, Brian's aggression versus Tiger, and who would be the hammer, who would be the nail. That's a great matchup, man. Good call. Brian got real power, but Tiger's sharp. All right, young, and stay up, man. I'll see you. I'm gonna pull up. Yeah, so we're getting two fights. Max McIntyre is a card that's happening. Mexico's in the Mexico. 2 minutes in, Mexico's threatening already. Let me lower that so YouTube doesn't strike me. I'm the biggest soccer casual in the world, but I've watched every World Cup game this year, and I got to tell you, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it all. I'm learning every time I watch. Okay, so who do I want to see Tiger face next? 147. Um, I don't know. People, let's see. Give me 1 second. Just turned 27. He looked good. He looked good on fight night too, physical stature wise. He's grown into his sort of like man physique. Crazy that he fought at 40. We're gonna wait for that to load. Covington is not being figgy. Let's get this out the way. Covington. Okay, so you're asking. So we can make what we want of. We can make what we want of BoxRec. Guys, I got to take a phone call real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. It's that plummet that he knocked on the door last week during a live stream. He was, these guys aren't organized. Email me first, call me, book in. Don't just randomly pop in or try to call me. Okay, so who should Tiger fight next? These are the rankings at 47. Tiger's right in between J-Rod and Polanco. Mate, I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't be mad against. What makes sense though? Like, are we like from a fan perspective? He's obviously working his way towards a belt. The belt holders, dude, Paro. You got Liam Paro who's a belt holder. Dev, Raleigh. And Ryan. So you got Ryan Garcia, Devinhaney, Raleigh, and Liam Paro. I think Tiger Johnson versus Liam Paro would be a fun fight, stylistically. It's tough to bet against Liam because he figures out ways to win too. He's a tidy little southpaw, but we see him. The last two fights have been tough for him, Crocker and Popo. I don't know. Of those champions, Raleigh has that weird power. Ryan has that weird power. The question would have to be: is Tiger durable enough? Like, how comfortable is Tiger in a firefight? Can Tiger withstand Raleigh's power? Can Tiger withstand Ryan's hook? But from a skill perspective, I'll put Tiger in there with anybody. From a boxing skill perspective. At 27 years old, he's as ready. You got to think, he's growing into his physical prime. He's as ready as he's ever going to be. He'll probably be better, a little bit better next year than he is this year. But from there, he's reaching his sort of like physical prime, his ceiling. Probably one or two fights within the top 15, then a title shot. Polanco, J-Rod, Paro, Catterall. Catterall and Barbosa, it's like, there's some good guys at 47 people don't talk about. I mean, Stanionis. I don't know if Tiger's quite in the top. I think Tiger's like in the second level of the top guys at this moment. But if you'd ask him, he would tell you he's at the top. Is he ready for Dev? Right now, he would say yes. This is who he wants. I would like to see him maybe have one more fight. I don't know, but we'll see. I do think though, I do believe that Tiger is one of these guys that the competitor in him, when you elevate him, he elevates himself. I don't like open scoring. I absolutely despise open scoring. It's horrible. We saw this. We did there was a month ago. Who was the undefeated African kid? And now I thought he won the fight, and the dude, who's the Albanian sniper? The Albanian sniper is coming off a win that we were watching that fight, and they were doing open scoring. I think the fight was in Germany. And in a fight in which the cards are going to be a little bit political, it's a 10-rounder, and you're a fighter in the 8th or 9th round, and you think you're up, and they say you're down. You're like, what do you mean I'm down? Like, I think psychologically for the fighters, it's not good. I don't think for betting it's good. I hate open scoring. In boxing, at least. All right, Mags, be good, man. Diego Pacheco by knockout decision. I don't think he stops Aleem. Diego really hasn't been punching like that lately. He hasn't been stopping guys. If anything, you got to think Pacheco, for me at least, if you would ask me 2 years ago and go watch the videos I've done on him, there was a time where, I was high on Pacheco thinking that he was already ready to break through with this physical style, with this power, but he kind of leveled off. He hasn't, for me, broken through the levels that I thought he was going to based off of potential. And so what is that? Is that gears? Does he just not have gears? Because that's what, when we watch Diego fight, that's kind of like the common narrative in our group is like, he doesn't have any gears. He's not like, I don't think he stops Aleem. Aleem gave Lesnar a tough fight. You know, you'd have to, if you want to do boxing maths off jump, you know, does Diego beat Lesnar? Does Lesnar stop Diego? And granted, I don't think Lesnar's the puncher that they sold us. They sold to us. They kind of sold to us Lester Martinez as being this Argentinian knockout artist, and then you see the Billy fight. You saw his fight against Aleem. I just don't think he has that one punch power. Fun fighter, you know. He could be a bit one dimensional too. Boxing's a tough sport, man. I think Pacheco on points. I'm gonna go heavy on. I'm gonna see if I could get that right now. We still got 2 or 3 weeks though, boys. Yeah, and it's not even plus money. So what we're gonna have to do, it's only at 71%. So I'm gonna wait. If that was opposite, if we would have pulled this up and we saw Diego at plus 150 on points, I would have put that bet in right now. But because it's not plus money and it's only at 71%, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna be in a rush with it. I'm gonna use it as a parlay piece, maybe do a double, and I gotta find plus money for the boys. For you big betters, for you guys with big bank rolls, 1,000 gets you $700 back. Smash it, 100%. Smash it. I'm gonna use it as a parlay piece for the sake of business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got to be honest with you, big fella. I like that fight. Mean Machine, Stanionis, Bakary Samaki. The chat always steps up. Oh, I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to keep those guys separate because I like Jin. Jin's been training in America too. I think Jin either moved to Big Bear or he's doing this camp in Big Bear. Keep Jin separate. Keep Tiger and Jin away from each other. Give Jin guys who will punch with him. Go. How about Jin Sasaki versus? I'd like to see Sasaki versus Raleigh. Stylistically, would Sasaki be able? Tiger and Jin would be crazy. It would be crazy, but yeah. Pacheco has digressed. He needs a new. He did. He left Benavidez Senior. I don't like his current team, but he has enough to beat Aleem. It'd be hard. Yeah, Jin. Look, Jin wouldn't be able to box with Tiger. And Tiger, if he wanted to, he could avoid getting hit. But is this a free kick? But fight fans like us and purists of the sport, we would like to see that fight in a phone booth, how that would go down. Guys, I do have to run. It's a new week. We had a great weekend. JSB community, hands down the best team in the land, 1,000,000%. Guys, click the link, join our Discord, become part of our community. Guys like Barry Unboxing will have your back in there. I'm in there. Julius is in there. You know, it's a 24/7 what's going on in boxing conversation. We're already doing our film study. We're already giving you tips. I do live streams here every day, so keep those notifications on. I'm going to take one more comment from my boy. He says, thoughts on Big Baby Cabello? That's rumor. Spencer Brown. I like Cabello. We had a whole piece on Cabello yesterday on the live streams, and I'll be back soon.